better pay has become a rallying cry for 3.5 million fast food workers in the United States. With me, Conor, who's from the Resolution Foundation, which campaigns for people on low incomes. Welcome to the programme. This figure, this ratio that we brought up, 1,000 to 1 in the United States, is that unusual, or would you say that that's mirrored across other parts of the world?
I think increasingly that's something that we've seen, this kind of separation between those at the very top of the business from those at the very bottom. And I think McDonald's won't be the only company that has this kind of large disparity.
You say increasingly. Why is that increasingly becoming the case?
Well, we've seen over the last 20 years or so, there has been this big increase in kind of the top earners, the kind of the superstars of the kind of business world, of the top kind of chief executives and CEOs. They're kind of the main group who really kind of pulled away in the past. We often hear about separation between the kind of the bottom half and the top half, but really it is that kind of 10%, and in particular the 1% who have really moved ahead in the past couple of decades.
And is the argument that there shouldn't be that disparity gaining any traction in the US or indeed anywhere else?
I think so. I think this is kind of just the latest in the round of kind of the argument for $15 minimum wages. That's just part of it. I think there's this movement across America, and it's seen a recent kind of high point in a small town called SeaTac, where they actually voted to bring in a $15 minimum wage. So I think it's a really interesting role that unions are playing in this as well, because rather than the traditional collective bargaining in workplaces, which really hasn't worked very well in the US, they've kind of taken it to the ballot box and said, let's have votes on this instead.
Works well in Germany, though, doesn't it?
It has worked well in Germany, and it's something that's going to be coming in now. But again, that was something where it's the minimum wage, the kind of coverage for unions hadn't fallen for years and years, and the minimum wage that will be brought in there is kind of a reaction to that.
So is it fair to say that we are moving away from the notion that the market should decide?
I think it's possibly that. It's kind of going in that direction, because people are really making the case that it's very difficult to live on $7.25, which is the federal minimum wage in the US. So I think increasingly there are these calls for a living wage.
Do shareholders have a role to play here?
I think so, and I know there's lots of different groups that kind of advocate for kind of responsible and ethical behaviour on the part of shareholders. And we've seen today from McDonald's that they clearly think that this is a group we're targeting.
Now, McDonald's, of course, makes the case that it offers its workers a great deal of training and progression and opportunity to better themselves. Is that a case?
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the biggest struggles, because when we look at low pay, we find that people don't just move through it easily. It's kind of a state where people find themselves for a year on end. So anything that can kind of help you